Movies aren't just entertainment, they're experiences, challenges, and puzzles waiting to be solved. And few directors embody that philosophy quite like Christopher Nolan. When Tenet was released, it polarized audiences.
The bomb that didn't go off, that's the bomb with the real power to change the world.
All I have for you is a word. Tenet.
Some called it brilliant. Others dismissed it as overly complicated. But here's the thing. Tenet is a misunderstood masterpiece. Yes, it's complex. Yes, it demands your full attention. And maybe a second or third watch. But that's the point. Nolan didn't set out to spoon-feed us. He wanted to challenge us. In this analysis, we'll break down the incredible craftsmanship behind Tenet, from its mind-bending direction to its jaw-dropping cinematography, to the hidden details that might have slipped past you on your first viewing. By the end, I hope to convince you that Tenet isn't just a great movie, it's a masterpiece. Christopher Nolan doesn't just tell stories. He creates entire worlds that demand attention. With Tenet, he takes that to another level by crafting a narrative that's as much about experiencing time as it is about watching a movie. From the opening opera siege, Tenet throws us into the action with no hand-holding. Nolan respects his audience's intelligence, trusting us to piece together the puzzle as we go. The film's structure mirrors its core concept of inversion. Scenes early in the movie take on new meanings when revisited later, making multiple viewings incredibly rewarding. Take the Oslo Freeport scene. The first time, it's a masterclass in tension. When revisited later, it's the same event from an opposing perspective. This duality is Nolan's signature style, and it's what makes Tenet so exhilarating. And then there's his commitment to practical effects. That real plane crash. It's because Nolan understands that real-world physics add immersion that CGI can't replicate. This extends to Tenet's action sequences, where the choreography feels tactile and immediate, even when characters move backward through time. Nolan's mantra for Tenet seems to be, don't try to understand it, feel it. This isn't just advice for the audience. It's the ethos of the entire film. He's inviting us to engage with cinema on a deeper level, making Tenet one of the boldest films in recent memory.
Strange.
You're not shooting the bullet
I've seen this type of ammunition before.
in the field?
I was almost hit.
An inverted bullet passing through your body would be devastating.
In the 70s, you had a population of about 200,000, thought to be abandoned.
Abandoned.
Some kind of accident. At the Kiev Opera siege, we spotted a detonation in northern Siberia.
The U-241 from under a CIA team at the Opera siege in Kiev. We got the team.
You told me about a holiday where you let him feel loved.
Vietnam.
You said he vanished. What day?
Well, I went ashore with Max and he flew off, but I don't know what day it was.
It's the 14th, 10 days ago. Ukraine.
At the Kiev Opera siege. How do you know about that?
Find us, it wasn't on his yacht, so that's his window.
To go back to that golden moment, have it be his last.
The screenplay is probably the most divisive aspect of Tenet. It's not designed to be linear or straightforward. It's meant to be experienced like a puzzle. The concept of inversion isn't just a gimmick. It's woven into the fabric of the story. Neil's arc, for example, seems like that of a laid-back sidekick at first. But as the movie unfolds, we realize he's been orchestrating events all along. His final scene carries more emotional weight once you understand he's already lived the protagonist's future. One of the screenplay's greatest strengths is its rewatchability. Small details, like Neil's red string or the algorithm's segmented nature, become clear only upon revisiting the film. Yes, the dialogue is dense, and yes, the exposition can feel overwhelming, but when you step back, you see that every line has a purpose. It's an intricate puzzle where each piece matters. Hoyte van Hoytema's cinematography in Tenet is breathtaking. Every frame is composed with precision, layering visual storytelling with meaning. The Oslo Freeport heist is a standout. Watching characters move forward and backward simultaneously creates a hypnotic push-pull effect. The choreography, camera work, and practical effects all work together to make inversion feel tangible. Color grading plays a crucial role. Warm tones dominate forward-flowing sequences, while cooler tones signal inverted moments. It's a subtle but effective way to visually guide the audience through complex timelines. The climactic battle scene is another highlight. Two wars unfold simultaneously, one moving forward, the other backward. Explosions, gunfire, and environmental cues interact in ways never seen before. The way a reverse explosion both destroys and reconstructs simultaneously is a visual paradox that encapsulates the film's central theme. Ludwig Göransson's score is an extension of Tenet's narrative. Using reversed audio techniques, he creates a soundscape that feels alien yet familiar. The soundtrack mirrors inversion itself. Musical cues sound different when played forward versus backward, but remain thematically cohesive. One example is when the protagonist is first introduced to inversion. As an inverted bullet returns to a gun, the music follows suit, enhancing immersion. The controversial sound mix, where dialogue is often overpowered, serves a purpose.
We are trying to prevent World War III.
You're not saying that we are getting there?
No.
Hey, what happened here? Hasn't happened yet. You wanna crash a plane?
But don't from the air. Don't be such an absurd. That part is a little dramatic.
Nolan forces us to rely on intuition rather than exposition, heightening the film's experiential nature. And let's not forget the recurring use of shepherd tones, a technique that creates an auditory illusion of a never-ending rise in pitch, adding to Tenet's relentless intensity. Beneath the spectacle, Tenet is a story about trust, sacrifice, and the cyclical nature of time. The protagonist's journey mirrors the audience's experience. We're both discovering this world as we go, unraveling its mysteries piece by piece. The film is packed with hidden details. The palindrome title reflects its structure. The red string on Neil's backpack foreshadows his timeline. The opera house sequence encapsulates the film's organized chaos. Even the algorithm itself serves as a metaphor for fragmented understanding. Neil's relationship with the protagonist is the emotional core of the story. At first, their bond seems transactional. But once the full scope of Neil's sacrifice is revealed, their friendship becomes one of the most poignant elements in the film. Is Tenet a perfect film? Maybe not. But is it a masterpiece? Absolutely. It challenges us to think differently about storytelling, time, and cinema itself. What makes Tenet remarkable isn't just its spectacle or its innovative use of time inversion. It's how these elements work together to create a cohesive experience. In an era where many films prioritize accessibility over depth, Tenet dares to demand more from its audience. It asks for our attention, curiosity, and willingness to embrace the unknown. And beneath all its complexity lies a deeply human story about trust and sacrifice. The protagonist's journey isn't just about mastering time inversion, it's about realizing his own role in shaping the world. Neil's final words: "For me, this is the end of a beautiful friendship, but for you, it's just the beginning," encapsulate the brilliance of Tenet. It's a film that unfolds in layers, revealing more with each watch. So, whether you loved Tenet or found it frustrating, one thing is clear: It's a film that refuses to be forgotten. And that, in itself, is the mark of a true masterpiece.